Hey everybody, so today we're going to be adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. And as we get started, I wanted to show you this visual of fraction bars. And these fraction bars are to help you see that this is representative of one whole. And here, if the denominator is 2, we need 2 pieces to make that one whole. And it goes all the way down to 1/8. And these are just the commonly seen fractions and denominators that we have in 5th grade. But before we get started with this, and before we're going to add our fractions with unlike denominators, we need to look at some fraction vocabulary. So here we have the fraction 1/4. Well, the interesting part here is we've got to figure out, well, what does 1/4 mean? Well, we're going to start here with the denominator. And the denominator is how many pieces it takes to make one whole. So since in this case our denominator is 4, it takes 4 pieces to make one whole. And the important thing to note is that these are equal pieces. And next we have the 1. And this 1 is actually our numerator. And our numerator represents how many pieces of that whole do we actually have. And in this case we have 1 equal piece out of the 4 pieces. So now that we know what a numerator and a denominator is, we are going to go ahead and solve. So here we have 2/3 plus 1/6. But if you notice here, our denominators, 3 and 6, are not the same. So we have to use our least common multiples to find equivalent multiples that they have in common and make an equivalent fraction. So this will not stay 2/3 and 1/6, they'll become something else. So we need to list our multiples of 3. And our multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, and 12. We're going to start there. And then 6, we have 12, 18, and 24. But what I notice here is this says least common multiple. So we want the smallest number that they have in common. And in this case, that is going to be 6. Now notice in 1/6, I don't have to change the fraction because 6 is our least common multiple. I'm just going to change the numerator and denominator to an equivalent fraction for 2/3. So now, though, I see that I need to multiply my numerator and denominator to become a denominator of 6. Well, I can multiply 3, 1, 2 times to get the denominator of 6. So here, let's change this to a brighter color. 3 times 2, and then 2. Because I'm multiplying my denominator by 2, I have to do the same thing to my numerator. So now I have 2 times 2 gives me 4, and 2 times 3 gives me 6. And I can tell here that 1, 2, 3, 4 is equivalent to 1, 2/3. And I can tell that here because this line would go all the way down and be the same. So now that I've changed this to an equivalent fraction from 2/3 to 4/6, and I have the same denominators, I can now add. So here I bring my denominator across. My denominator does not change because that means the number of pieces I mean to make a whole don't change. But now I can just add together the total number of pieces. Well, 4 plus 1 gives me 5. So my new fraction of 4/6 plus 1/6 gives me a total number of 5/6. Learners, at this time, you're going to begin your collaborative work with your peers in Google Classroom. Be sure to submit your assignment. See you later.